Hey everybody, this is Eric the Thoktar, and this is Let's Play Victoria 2 A House Divide, Austria, again. I made one before, but there were some technical difficulties, I didn't have the right version, etc, blah blah blah. So, let's get started, okay? Okay, just let this load up, and we will get started. Now, I'm going to assume you played Victoria 2 before, but probably not A House Divide, and there was a lot of things different than, say, the previous version of just Victoria 2. And I like a lot of these changes. They've done a lot of good things. And even just since the past few updates, they've actually done pretty well. Come on, come on. There we go. Now, I was going to do a Spain LP, but you guys really seem to like this, so I'm going to do another Austria one. Now, as we could see, Austria's turning army isn't great, but it's not terrible either. You know, it's adequate. I'm not going to be going on, like a Europe conquering just binge, but I should do okay. Okay, so we got those. I'm just going to put a little bit of influence into these because, well, I want to form the South German Federation. I know some people say you shouldn't simply because of the fact that it's not become a great power, but I've never had it become a great power, so we'll see. And for our star technology, I always pick ideological thought simply because it increases plurality, which of course is research. And in A House Divided, they changed up the factory system so that factories are really expensive, so it's a whole lot harder to start from scratch. But when they start products, you can actually invest into them, which means that you can actually help them, actually start. Okay, so we're going to start with going against Denmark because that'll start them performing. And I'm going to ask them for military access, and they are very likely for some odd reason. And I'm going to try and increase relations with France, maybe even get an alliance with them. Because if I can get France to go along with me against Prussia, then we're in real good shape. Because as we can see right now, their military power is slightly higher than us, and we're going to go after them pretty soon for this little bit. And so we're going to start by declaring war on Denmark, call all our allies. Well, really only one because I only started with an alliance with one, but we'll get more soon. And I'm also going to start justifying a war against Tunis, sorry. Because then we can start establishing a North African empire, which is something I like doing. Now, one thing that they changed a lot in this, which really affects Austria, is the assimilation system. Because, as we can see right here, that minus 20 red part right there, Hungarian is a core culture of Kaposvár, which means that any place where that culture is called a core culture, so for instance, Hungary has a core here, so all Hungarians are a core culture of that, that means that there's pretty much no chance of them ever being assimilated. And one thing that doesn't really apply to us, but I should probably know here anyway, and somebody's not. Anyways. One that we should note is the fact that if we look right there, that plus 10, that is if it is in North or South America. So if you are, say, America or one of those, it's really useful. And when I've been playing as European ones, or actually one guy did as Brazil, you assimilate things really fast. Anyways, for influence, I'm mostly just going to try to keep what I have. However, and maybe go after probably Serbia, because I have some starting influence there. And also I'm probably actually now let's let Serbia, because Ottoman Empire may not be a great power for too much longer. So I'm going to start the way I always do. Now some people may criticize me for this, but I actually do like going after the South American ones, because I mean they don't have a lot of population, but they're really easy to get. No one ever goes after them yet, so we'll start by going after Venezuela just to start off. And You want to wait for a month before stabilizing your budget, because a lot of things change before the game actually settles out in the first month. But yeah, we're gonna start. Here we go. Württemberg. Russia will accept it. Okay, that works too. We'll get Russia to help us against Prussia. And oh, United Kingdom. We'll hope that they don't join. That's something for a while, anyways. Now let's see. We're gonna ask them for military access as soon as we can, and put all our troops out to the frontier and wait to invade them, because again, Prussia will do it very soon, and we don't want that to happen, because then they can form the North German Federation. If we get it, then they won't be able to form the North German Federation, which, as you all know, is very powerful, and that will basically stop them from being, a superpower capable of destroying us. Instead, we can reduce them to the point where maybe we can form Germany. I'm hoping, at least. And we got that. And one other new thing they put in is investing. Investing is where you spend money on countries and you get a bonus against other countries for influence. But here we see capitalists start up a couple of projects: an artillery factory and a glass factory. So we'll just sponsor those and crank up a bit to get some more money for that. Now again, education, always very useful. Put down the rich taxes so they can have more money to invest. And looks like we're good. And start up some more transports, more ships. As you can see, I'm a lot faster than I used to be. Now we got some alliances. Bavaria, I'll call you. Along with Baden. Oh, you don't want to be one yet. Okay. And we'll just up the frontier, let him heal. And we'll ask these guys for military access. Maybe. And I don't think they give it to us. Oh, we'll wait another month. There we go, good. This is a random event where we gain the speed at which we acquire Kazibeli. Because with how war works in A House Divided, basically you go to a country which you have not very good relationship with, you go justify war, as I already did with Tunis, and you'll get a Kazibeli or a cause for war. You can't do it without it in this case. Now, to manufacture that Kazibeli, you'll eventually get discovered at some point, and that's how you get infamy in this game. So, let's go. Okay. Wait for it. Oh, Baden now? Oh, okay, and more alliances. Good. Good. That'll be very helpful against Prussia. Okay. Maybe Hanover? I'm hoping. Oh, right, they're a satellite of the UK at this point. It's not like we're really losing as much. Ooh, and here oh wow, that happened. Okay, normally what'll happen is that you'll get discovered at some point and that'll cost you infamy, but in certain cases that won't happen. Now I'll just send these back down. I'll just send them all down. And of course random events, not really big deal, but they're helpful sometimes. And ooh, there we go. Okay, now we're going to increase relations with them up to 45 and hope that they will soon let us through their territory, because then we can go after Denmark before these do. Ooh, Britain's already gone after America. This happens sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they'll try to do that. Usually just ends up in a white peace. And these guys are going after Krakow. I don't care about that. I'm just going to... Oh, they're already discredited. Okay, so Prussia's going after this too. That helps me a lot. Now, of course, Prussia's going to be going after a couple of these to dislodge them, especially Saxony. So we are just going to discredit them to make it worse for them and invest some in there. Because if we're the primary investor, that means that they do a super seat. Ooh. They've already invested quite a lot in there. So we're just going to wait for that to get some more money. Now, if you zoom out, the game tends to go faster because, you know, processing all that isn't really a big worry as long as you're not, you know, as long as you don't have a really bad computer. But just some tips, because I used to not have a very good computer. Ooh. Denmark's already landed over here. That's good. Get some war score build up there. Spain as well. Huh. We got a pretty good alliance network. That's good. Historically, that probably because of dynastic ties, blah blah blah. You're here for a video game. You're not here to hear about that. Well, maybe you are, but I'm sorry. I wonder if there's any... darn it. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to build a fleet after all. I don't usually build a fleet simply because, you know, I usually consider it a waste of time. Because, I mean, it's not like I usually play as Britain or anything like that. I usually just play as, you know, a minor... I usually just play as, you know, a land power or something to that extent. Oh yeah, we can... Now I'll increase them one more. Oh, they blockade us, right. Okay, and we're just gonna wait for them to go through that. Now, usually, if you're already at war with them, Prussia won't declare war on them, which is good because they can do it a lot faster because they're closer. Which is usually why the... Yes! Okay. These guys are dead. And now we can increase our holdings in Venezuela and bring them closer to us. Now, what they changed a lot in this, and what I really like in a House Divide, is these buttons down here. For instance, we have RGO output, which you click on this, it'll show you... If you click on a province that has a certain resource, it'll show you, you know, what provinces have that resource and how much of the world's products they produce. See, a lot of the world's output right now is in Asia, but that's going to change soon as these guys get more technology. Or we look at grain. See, our territory doesn't have a lot of good grain yet, but it has quite a large portion of the world's cattle, which is good. And here we have population density, obviously self-explanatory, shows how dense the population is there. Nationality shows what nationalities dominate there. So we see there's not really a lot of South Germans in our territory, and there's a lot of Hungarians. And here we have, you know, Slovaks. So we can see that we are a pretty fragmented empire, which is true. Now we have Sphere of Influence. This is actually one that I like using, because it shows you which countries are in whose sphere of influence. So, for example, these are white, showing that they're in our sphere of influence. Or these are in Prussia's. Supply limit, not really much useful. It just shows stuff. Party loyalty. This is for elections, but we don't have it right now because we are an absolute monarchy dictatorship, obviously. And when a party wins an election, there's a certain party loyalty. The U.S. comes with some preset ones. See, 15, 20, 25. That shows they'll be more likely to vote for that party, even if the people think otherwise. And ranking just shows, you know, how high they are in the world's ranking. Migration is just how fast, you know, people migrate, which usually is based on the amount of reforms you have. So, for example, if you are an absolute monarchy like me, you'll have people fleeing because they don't like being oppressed. So, you know, 50 people are going, you know, to Ecuador right now. That isn't too bad. Usually isn't really a big problem, but it's really useful if you are a say a Latin American country in that, and democracies get bonuses of that, blah blah blah. Civilization level just shows you low civilization they're at, which is really actually quite useful for this, because if we look at these civilization progress, that is something that I could show off at a later date if you guys want me to play an unciv. Basically, instead of these, we have certain reforms that we purchase through technology, and those are what let you westernize instead of just having a set limit. Because the big problem was that most nations never actually westernized. They basically just stayed mired in horrible poverty, which of course to make the game very exciting. So in this, usually we have some Asian nations, Persia, Japan, all them westernized in about the 1870s, and most nations eventually westernize. And then we just have relations, which is just click on country and see how much we love each other, blah blah. And Switzerland wants to do it too. Okay. Now eventually I am gonna have to go declare once war against France if I want to beat Germany, but that's later. Okay, military access? Maybe? Come on, guys. Oh, right. And that Kazi Belly vanishes after a year, so I'll just use that now. Now, yeah, Spain usually goes after Morocco, which is this country right here. They usually goes after this part because it has gold in it. And I am probably going to go after them soon, because I still want to take this part because it's good for colonizing Africa. And occasionally I'll take this part, just some little pieces. And usually go after this too, so when I get Taza, because then I have like a strip of it. But anyways, here we go. Let's wait for that. Now, one thing I normally do in a monarchy, I won't do it as much here because these guys aren't exactly really good for that. Ooh, never mind. Okay, see, normally liberals have something where policy, here we go, laissez-faire, where you can't subsidize people. And if you can't subsidize them, usually factories in this game tend to fail, which of course obviously isn't good because factories equal money. But here they are interventionists, which means you can use them. So I'll do that. Now you see this fire icon went up. That's known as militancy. That is shows how likely people are to vote. And you might think, wait, that's bad. Yes, however, when we look at reforms here, all of a sudden we see not just the liberals want to vote yes on reforming the country. That's because of militancy. Militancy makes people the conservatives more likely to vote for reforms, and liberals more likely to vote for social reforms, which is really important because we look at these. Healthcare. They make your population growth go up, and they are really useful. I almost always try to get them at some point. Now I'm just going to discredit them again, which basically just means that their influence doesn't go as far. Pretty self-explanatory. Now you can change your party every so often. So here we go. Can target before February 1938. Just gonna fund these projects some more so that we can get them done quicker and start quicker, so we get a higher industrial score and just become an all-out better country. And I'm just waiting for my diplomatic points to go up. There we go. And of course they're still out there. Why wouldn't they be? Oh, hey, there's an army down here I forgot about. Huh, that's good. Or those other ones. I can't remember anymore. Relations up. I could just use my influence to get them by now, but that would make Prussia kind of not necessarily mad because they don't really act like that, but it's more like it's a pain in the ass. Yes, I know. I swore, big deal. I didn't even say anything bad. Now, usually you want to keep your taxes down as much as possible, but right now, I'm starting a major process, and I mean, it's not really that bad. You also just want to promote them to get higher things. Sorry, I hit my mic there. You want your people to promote to, say, craftsmen or clerks or clergymen or capitalists, because clergymen are good for research because they increase people's ability to read, which of course makes them smarter, makes them more educated people. and also it's just a general research value they put in, which is good. And there we go. 2.4 now. And go these guys. Will they gain military access? Yes. There we go. Okay, now we can go in. So what I've been waiting for. And just gonna split these up and have them occupy Holstein. Now what I plan to do is I am going to ask for Iceland and Greenland as well, because they're actually a pretty good colony if you get them, and they're just good in general. I don't know, I just like them. And I'm just going to justify the nah. Let's go to this, demand concession, and that'll just give us a colony here. I'll explain, well, you probably already know, but as you haven't, I'll explain, you know, the intricacies of colonies in a bit. And there we go, our very first battle. And of course we won handily because we had much greater numbers. And gonna reinforce them. Once we get over this starting army, then we're pretty good. Now, from what I understand, when you're justifying a cause belli, if you have troops near them, that makes it less likely. So I think the fact that they're on separate continents makes it, you know, a lot less likely for them to actually detect it. So that's good. And yes, if you're wondering, I am going to colonize Africa. I love Africa. Even if with these guys, there we go. See, I got discovered, and my infamy is right up there. Oh, they're fleeing. Not yet. And there we go. See, I'm slowly chipping away at their numbers and their organization, and winning battles against them, which increases my war score, which allows me to demand more. Oh, and of course we have bad events that make that speed go down. You know, all balances out. Gold. Okay, now I'm gonna change. What you want to do is stay away from the dominant party when you're changing them, if you want to maximize militancy. And here we go. Just gonna have them occupy this little bit here. And there we go. I have a choice. I can either take this up here, which has a lot more people. That's about 100,000 people. Or I can take this, which is a colony with a lot more strategic location. You know what? I don't really plan on doing anything over here. So I think I'm just gonna take these guys because it makes my strategic position better. So there we go. Acquire state, Jarland, and there we go. Okay, and just gonna keep occupying all that, taking the Danish land, and have these guys disappeared yet? Yes, they have. Okay, good. I'm just gonna put these up here so I can start. Actually going after the Tunisians and occupying that place, because I want to send people there. And you'll see one bit, viewers. Okay, and this now. Not sure I really want to get involved. Now, refusing them reduces my prestige a bit, which is a value that is make your score up higher mostly and makes you higher in the thing for. See, there we go. It didn't make our militancy go out that much because, well, we're a reactionary country. Unfortunately. Oh, this war has already started. Ooh, this is good. Well, not really good, but... Basically, there's a few starting wars due to cores and all that tend to happen pretty quickly in the game. First, usually Netherlands tries to take over Belgium, which of course fails because the United Kingdom goes to their aid, and of course the Taza one, like I already showed you. And Afghanistan, I'll show you that over here. There's a core right here that Bukhara has that Afghanistan wants, so they usually go after it. And Bukhara usually makes an alliance with Persia, so Persia comes in, saves their ass, and Afghanistan often goes bye-bye because of that. And then everyone picks on Bolivia because Argentina has cores on it, and also Brazil does. Usually they go after it too, and they take some cores as well. And see, everyone's getting some. And also Portugal goes after Oman for colony. France usually tries to take a colony or two from Netherlands. And sometimes Switzerland and Sardinia and Piedmont go after each other. And that's it. Oh, and that Kazi Belly is going through, so we're going to take that. Now again, if we don't act on those Kazi Bellies after a year, they go away. So you want to just let that war kind of fester. Not really important at first. Now at this point, we don't really need to build up our capitalists, especially not in those two. So I'm gonna have some clergymen to increase our literacy, because it's good by uncivilized standards, but by Western nation standards, it's not good. Okay, and we got our ships there. 6. Okay, so. We're going to just load these onto ships. And as it happens, Tunisia has exactly 6 provinces in its region, so we're just going to take those over and it'll be good. And we can change it in 1 year. There we go. We've occupied that one. And we're hopefully going to start... we're hopefully going to be able to just end this war with Denmark soon. Okay, let's see. Oh, Russia's taking Krakow. I honestly don't care about that. They're a little tiny 100,000 person nation. Polish. Now, keep going. Yeah, I know. One piece. Ooh, this guy actually has a lot more soldiers than it usually does. Huh. Oh, and see, there we go. Spain's taken this already. So we're probably just going to go after this, guys, because we're going to be focusing mostly on Europe. I just mostly want those to hopefully turn into states one day. Live an outlet for access population. Yeah. Oh, yep, there we go. See? Duration.